As our children kick off another school year, consider the importance of school buses and how they can get to class, how students are getting to class. A recent study released by Georgia State University linked lower emission bus exhaust to improved academic performance. And to discuss this research and what it means to students is Tucker Perkins, President and CEO of the Propane Education and Research Council. Thank you for joining us today, Tucker.
Well, good morning and thanks for having me.
All right, so why should we want our kids riding to school in low emission powered school buses?
I think every child really deserves the right to arrive to school in a healthy, quiet, clean bus. And that's what we're seeing now when we give them a chance to ride to school in a propane bus. The study that you just referenced from Georgia State confirms what we had heard from bus drivers and teachers alike. The study really looked at two classes of children, those that rode to school every morning in a diesel bus and those that rode to school in a low emission bus. And what they found is the children in the low emission bus actually tested higher. You know, we think about how radical that sounds, but we know that we give children a chance to arrive to school cleaner bus, quieter bus, particularly those children that are susceptible to asthma, bronchitis. Their absenteeism has decreased. They're physically at school more often. So I think it's quite logical that they begin to test higher. And it's revolutionary research and very supportive of the need to have children given a chance to be in a quieter, cleaner environment.
All right, talk a little bit about this new research that found that low emission buses improve academic performance. How was that research done?
Well, they looked at really very carefully two groups of students, and the students that rode to school in a conventional diesel bus, and then the students riding to school in a low emission bus. And the students tested higher in math and science, but given a chance to arrive to school quieter, calmer, healthier, happier, they get into learning mode faster. They're not seeing the absence at home. They're not staying at home because they're ill with bronchitis or asthma, so they're in classroom more, and testing higher, I think, was a logical consequence of given a chance to ride to school in a healthier, quieter bus.
Well, how common are these school buses?
Well, this morning over 1 million children rode to school in propane buses, 48 states, over 18,000 buses. But we continue to see a lot of school districts that had made a switch. Now their commitment is to be 100% in the propane fleet as they can replace their aging and dirtier diesel buses.
And talk to us about how it's better for the environment.
Well, it's better for the environment in many ways. In a cold weather place like Ohio, these buses idle way less in the cold weather. So that's a major contributor. They use less oil. But the big issue for us is a complete reduction in nitrogen oxide. Nitrogen oxide is that building block for smog and ozone formation. It's the contributor to asthma, bronchitis. So it's not only harmful to children, it's harmful to the environment. These buses are 95% cleaner than a diesel bus for oxides of nitrogen. That's the big area, but we certainly see a lot of positive benefits towards the climate and student health.
All right, so I've got to ask you this. How do propane powered buses cost versus diesel and gas powered?
Yeah, I think rarely do people see these kinds of benefits without paying a lot of extra money. A propane bus costs about the same as a diesel bus, and then it costs a third less to operate. So most people making the switch are reporting back a savings of $3,000 to $5,000 per bus per year. When Omaha made the switch in their first year, they said they saved enough money to hire 4 teachers. And we looked at that and did a study that said, hey, if all the diesel buses across the country were replaced with propane, the savings could hire 23,000 more teachers. So it's really great to talk about saving money for businesses and for you and I as individuals, but when we start talking about saving money in school systems, it really has an impact on whether we can hire more teachers, buy more computers, improve our schools. Saving money in the school is really important, and we can deliver children to that school healthier and happier and calmer. It's a great move in transportation.
That's very interesting. All right, so where can we go for more information?
Well, we created a website for parents so they could engage perhaps in this conversation with other parents and with the school system about what conversations they're having about fuel choices. That website is betterourbuses.com. There's also a website we have called propane.com where you can learn about this transformation in transportation and really how propane is a part of the energy solution going forward for America and certainly for Ohio.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us. We appreciate it.
Mona, thank you so much for having me.